Right, hello again folks. As you can see in front of me, I've got my Rete T20 with me and it's working again. But what else you might notice is I've got the latest ThermNight scope from DNT Optics. Now this one is a multispectral night vision scope. It's got infrared illumination, which is supplied under there, which is fitted with an 850 lens, NM lens. It is also available with 940 NM lens as well. And to do that, you can just unscrew the actual part of the lens off of the front there. It's also got a focusing ring on the end, so you can do a focus beam or a flood. Also got the rangefinder on it, but what makes this one a game changer is the thermal lens at the bottom here. So this is a I think it's TNC 225R. So looking head on, you can see it shines like a mirror on that. Very sensitive to light and heat, so don't ever point at the sun or to anything really hot like a fire. But when you're not using it, just make sure the cap's covered over it like that. Focusing ring at the front there for the thermal, and on the top they've actually improved on the Zulus. Now that was just a focus ring like that, but now they've got a little tab on the top that helps you to move it around. Controls are pretty much similar to the old one, although slightly different. That's all I'll say. Laser rangefinder that sits above the actual infrared torch. You press the back button, that will range the target, and because it's got a ballistics calculator inside, as long as you put the right information in through your phone, such as pellet weight, pellet speed, ballistics coefficient, weather, air pressure, altitude, it should hit the target every time. Next to that, you have a button at the side. Now that's a different thing to what we had on the old Zulus. Press that button and it will switch the main screen between daylight mode or night time IR mode to full thermal mode. But at the same time, if you wish, you can either have it switched on or off. You'll see a picture in picture within that screen, and if this is on, say, thermal, the picture in picture will show the infrared or daylight view, and when it's in daylight view or infrared, the picture in picture will be your thermal. And what makes this such a game changer is the fact that when you're out in the field, if you're a hunter, you can pan around, and even if you're looking through the scope, you might not see anything, but this thermal will pick the heat up. So I find it really good. I've already been out and done the videos on the use of it in daytime and nighttime, but my God, it just shows up like I've got an infrared camera that I've been using on my mobile phone, and I've been using that in tandem with my Zulus scopes, and you can see it makes all the difference. Most of the time I won't have shot anything unless I first knew they were there by the thermal optic on it, and that's what brings this into its own. You can spot your target using the thermal, and it's got 4 different colour palettes. You've got red hot, white hot, black hot, and what they call iron hot, the different colour schemes. So you'll see the difference there when you see a target or a live target. You'll see the heat source, and then you can switch over to infrared and get a real clear picture then, like in daylight mode or at night time. You'll be able to identify a target. So yes, you can identify a target with this, but it's not the top end of the thermal, it's the lower end, but it makes such a big difference. And the price package at around £1,000 or $1,200, you can't really beat it. There's nothing on the market that can touch it in that respect. So yeah, that's what makes this a game changer. Another thing on this one that's different to the old one is it's not got the screw cap on the side where you used to put in your memory card or plug it in or whatever. On this one, it's got a rubber cap, and on that you've got no memory card, which is a built-in memory on this one. So you've got 32 gigabyte in internal storage. This one here is for you to plug in a USB-C cable, and that will plug into a computer, and you can upload anything from your photos or video that you've recorded onto your computer. You can also upload it wirelessly to mobile devices. So don't worry if you've not got a computer, you can upload it through Wi-Fi. So what I'm going to show you now, because this is another game changer for this scope, and it suits any YouTubers out there that's showing off a product. I did actually mention it right at the beginning to both DNT Arkansas and One Leaf that I also do videos of scopes for, wouldn't it be great if what we can see through the scope, you can see through it as well? Because in the past, you've seen a video and all you've seen is probably the video of what I'm shooting at and maybe distance to target, that kind of thing. But this time they've done it so you can see everything that I can see. So what I can do now, what I'm going to do now is switch it on, turn on the recorder, and I'll show you what's on the menu, which is great. Not realizing this until I'd done my videos of the scope on the backyard and at night time shooting, not realizing this. I did the 1-shot-0, not knowing that it would all be recorded. So I just didn't bother recording. I'll try and show you that as well. So what I'll do now is just go through the menu, and when we've done that, we'll get on with the practical field views of it. So you'll see me doing the initials here on the backyard, and later on at night time, I'm out in the field and I'm actually hunting as well. So you'll see where the actual thermal comes into its own. You spot the actual mouse or rat, and then just verify that with the IR and take the shot. Very good. So then we'll start off. I'll start recording, and I'll show you through the actual menu. Okay then, so switching it on, just press the top button. After about 3 seconds, the DNT optics sign comes on. It's actually set to thermal at the moment, so I'll leave it as it is. And there's a little dot flying around, and what that little dot is, I've set it up to detect heat sources. So what happens when you are looking around, if you don't actually see it yourself, the red dot will pick up the heat source and directly go to it. It used to be a little cross on my infrared camera, but on this one it's a little red dot. But anyway, here it goes. I'm going to start recording, which is a press of the bottom button. It's starting recording there. So a long press of the center button should take us to menu. And the menu's coming up now. It says brightness settings. So the OK button on this is the right hand button. So I press that and you can see it says 1 to 5. Well, I've got it set to 5. I'll just go down the scale. You can see it dimming as I'm going down. That's 1. So if you're out at night, you think you've got too much glare coming back through the eyepiece and you've not got the rubber on, you can turn it down. And it will save battery, but I turn it up because I've got bad eyesight. When you're happy with that, press the right button again, and using the up and down buttons, top and bottom, go down to the next one, and that's your Wi-Fi. Press the square on that. Wi-Fi, OK. And if you look up to the top of the picture on the top right, you'll see the Wi-Fi symbol, and it's on. Now if I press this or the button again, you can see it says on or off. So I'm going to turn it off just to show you. Turn it off, press the right hand button to confirm that, and you can see there's a white cross gone through the Wi-Fi symbol. I will leave it off at the moment, don't need to be on. So press it again to OK that. Go to the left hand button to come out of it. Press it again, and we'll go down. Now this one is the one for targeting and doing your 1-shot-0. So I'm going to press the OK button again. So you can see on there it says thermal imaging, because that's what we've got it set to. Now if you wanted to zero the thermal imaging in, you would use this setting there. Other than that, you would go on to the IR one and set that one up. But it says thermal imaging. Next to that, if I go along, it says A. Well, because this is the first rifle that I've shot through it, I've set this rifle for this scope using H&M Barracuda 8s. Now, going across there, you'll see X15 and Y65. That's along the corridor and up the stairs, as they used to say in the army. So the X is your windage and the Y is your elevation. So what you would do, you would take your shot at your target, And when you took the shot, what you do then, you line up the actual cross, which on this one is the green one in the middle. The top one that you can see is the normal daytime picture. Because it's so close to the door, you can't really see it. Right, you can see that up there, can't you? We can't really see it in thermal. I'll come out of the thermal one and I'll do it in. Let me come out of this. Right, I'm just going to press the left hand button and it's going to switch now from thermal, which is the main screen, to the daylight one. That's actually set black and white mode. There we go, we're back in colour now. Now this, on the actual IR main camera, it's a 5:20 zoom. So I'm only about four or 5 yards maybe from that wall. So that's why it looks a bit blurry. Go a bit further out and it'd be better. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back in menu and I'm going to put that as your point of aim. All right. And what I'm going to do when I've got into there, that little notch up there, that'll be where my shot will have gone. So I'm going to press the picture in picture, which is the right hand side. Long press of that. Just got rid of that. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is go back into the menu. Long press of the center menu button. I'm going to go back down to that. Press the right button. Now we're in. So it's digital A. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to line that up and then I'm going to press the power button. So that's potentially where we're supposed to be shooting. So that's froze it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go across using the left right buttons to the first one, and then use the top and bottom buttons to make the adjustment. So that little notch in the wood up there, that's the supposed place where they're around it. So what I'm going to do now, no, it's the wrong way. So there's a bottom one to go left. One more, I think. And then I need to go up to it. So I can see I've got my elevation right because it's bang in the middle of that where that screw is. Look. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to press the right hand button to go across to the Y option. Now I'm going to go up. And I'm going into the middle of that notch. It's not going anymore. I think what's happened, I've reached the elevation because we're so close. I've reached the elevation of the scope. But what you do then, you would, looking at where it says long press right button to save and exit, you press that button and it will save it and it will adjust then. So the point of aim of the scope and rifle will marry together. And from that point on, you should have a rifle that's zeroed in one shot. If it's not smack on, you just do it again. So I'm not going to press it because it's already zeroed in. So I'm going to do a long press left button to exit without saving. So I'm going to do a long press. So it's not saved it. But what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go back into it by pressing the right hand button. And I'm going to show you the different colours. So going across the colours, press the up and down. Yeah. So we've got the red cross with a red dot in the middle. Now it's black. Oh, this is the colours. Now it's black, red, black, yellow, green, back to red. do quite like the yellow, and would be nice if you had a blue, because on one leaf scopes they've got a blue option, but they've not got the yellow, and on this one they've got a yellow but not a blue. So it'd be nice if they both had a blue or a yellow as well. So that is the we'll stick with the yellow for the now. So that's the yellow. If you want to go across and see the style of reticle, press across to the left again, and using the up down buttons I'm going to go through them. So you've got that one. Okay, reticle 1, you can see it's a mil dot reticle. Reticle 2, it's a cross with a dot in the middle. Reticle 3, a cross. Reticle 4, it's 3 bars and a dot in the middle. And the final one, reticle 5, is a small cross. So come out of that. So that was a long press of the left button to come out of that. So we go down to the next one. So that's your thermal toggle. So it's set to dual at the moment. You can either have it on dual, which is what we've got up now, the heads up display. You can see it's one of them will be digital, one will be thermal. If you go to thermal, both pictures will be thermal. If you go to digital, both pictures will be digital. So that is that. Coming down again, you've got ballistic calculator. Sorry if you can hear any background noise, a chainsaw right there. Bloody nuisance. Right, ballistic calculator. That's the right button to go into it. That's switched on. Come out of that. Go down one. You've got the ballistic data settings. Aiming method. You've got 2 options. You've got hold over and dial in. I always use hold over, because sometimes on the dialing you can't always tell if it's moved or not. It moves that quick. At least with hold over you know where you're aiming at. So that is hold over for me. Coming down, you got image enhancement. So that's what I've got it on. So you've got natural mode or enhanced. I've got it on enhanced. Below that you've got brightness. So clicking that, you've got natural, enhanced eye brightness. Below that one, thermal image settings. Got your palettes again. Okay, as you can see, we've got it set to red hot. That's iron hot, black hot, and white hot. So in these conditions out here, the black hot, you can see a lot clearer look. So depending on your conditions, I mean we're in daylight now, but yeah, the black hot showing everything down there that's kept a little warmer. And there we go. Image contrast, image brightness, image sharpness, hotspot tracking. Now the hotspot tracking, if you switch that on, which I'll do now, it's set to on. Anything hot, the little red dot will track it, and you'll see anything that comes out there that will go to it, picking up the heat. The actual manual mode, that is recording. So if I press on this one, you've got the auto mode, you've got the manual mode. If you put it on auto, that's designed for recoiling rifles. As soon as the rifle recoils, it will switch itself on. Because this is a PCP, I'll basically put it on manual and start recording and taking it off myself, which I find easier. That is the audio on or off. And you've got function settings, torch type. Now, if you look at torch type, you've got IRL and IRV. I'm not quite sure what they mean. I'll get back to you on that one. Auto power off. So if you switch that on, it'll power off if it's not been doing anything for 10 minutes, 20 minutes or 30 minutes. It will automatically switch itself off. Stops you accidentally leaving it on and running the battery down. Loop recording, basically on a loop recording it will start a new film every 1, 3 or 5 minutes when you're videoing. I'll switch that off, so I'll do it manually. Pit position, you can either have it to the left, to the center, or to the right. I'll leave it up there for now. Below that you've got gyroscope, on and off. I've got it switched on. And ranging units, I'm old school, I go with yards, but you can set it to meters. Coming down, you got reticle display. You can either have it on or off, I think, on this. Yeah. So if you have it off, you can use it just like a spotter with no reticle in it. Screen shifting, not quite sure what that does. Timestamp, you basically, it leaves you a timestamp on the video as it's rolling. Obviously you've got a date and time to set up. Language settings, you've got English, French, Spanish, German and Italian, European countries. Formatting the internal storage, restore factory default settings, available storage and version. So if you look at the version, that was last updated on the 2nd of August 24. So it's still not been updated since then. So there's been no update since this was produced. So that, my friends, covers the menu. I'm sorry about the background noise. Just a pain in the backside. Hopefully I can get rid of that noise through software, but if not, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, basically. And that is the menu sorted. So next up, you'll see the actual scope out in the field. So until then, enjoy the video. The next part of the video will be the field tests. Like I say, you'll see on the backyard first, and then moving on, you'll see at night time use. So very impressed with the scope so far. DNT really do listen to the feedback, and they're only going forward all the time, because even though I've been showing you the 225R, they've already got 2 more that's just about ready to come on the market with larger thermal sensors. So obviously they'll cost more, I don't know how much more, but the quality of the thermal will be a lot better. So if you want to wait a bit, if you're shooting at long distance, fine. If you are interested in one of these for shooting anywhere up to 100 yards, this is ideal anyway. So if you're an air gunner, fantastic. If you're a rimfire user or someone that shoots foxing out to 100 yards, great again. But the rangefinder will work out to, I believe it's 1,000 meters or 1,100 yards, and the IR is good out to 300 or 400 yards anyway. So it's a good one to go for anyway. So I'll leave a link if you are interested in this particular one. But like I say, there's 2 more coming out soon, which have got even bigger thermal processors in them and lenses. So thanks for watching, enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll catch you soon.